Hello there, 585ers. This is your weekly preview for yes, April the 4th. I can't believe it. We have some interesting times ahead that I need to share with you before we talk about what we're doing, because we're going to do a lot on Thursday. I have that other class, that 679 class, is scheduled for the 11th, and then on the 18th, I will be in Lexington for the STLP conference, where I go down and judge a podcast category that we created at the University of Louisville called University of Louisville Education Activities Podcast, called ULEAP. Anyway, so this will be the last time that we are actually together. So to do that, what I'm going to do, because we did part 1 of module 5, we will go in and do the part 2, which is the assessment piece. And I think what we're going to do is we will take a look at Google Forms, because it's a part of the Google Classroom. I'm going to skip Socrative, because mainly it is let me let you see it. This is pretty much used by folks at high school. It's very much geared toward kids using their phones. And, I think what I'd like to do is to keep us focused on stuff that we all would be using that is connected to the Google Classroom. Socrative is not. Here's Nearpod. We'll take a look at Nearpod. Love Nearpod. I always tell teachers, or used to tell teachers, that you are more than welcome to use my Nearpod account to create for your classroom, for your online classroom. What's interesting is, in Jefferson County anyway, they've actually bought a site license for this. That's how much it's being used. So I think it deserves a look at. And then we have the Ed Puzzle, which is, frankly, my favorite. I love Ed Puzzle. It's extremely simple to use. But I want to show it to you because I think there is an awful lot here that helps us with differentiation, helps us reach out to kids who need just that little extra to understand content. Then we will go ahead and we will do Module 6. Mainly because Module 6 is pretty laid out for you. There's not a whole lot that you have to do that's original unless you want to. What Module 6 is about is, right now there's a very strong trend for classrooms to be looking at programming and coding. The state of Kentucky has written a curriculum for this. Right now, it's at the middle and high school level. I have a feeling, though, it's coming to the elementary level, and I'll show you why. It is based upon some very straightforward ideas about how kids can understand this, because the idea is it helps them with thinking, critical thinking, creative thinking. The easiest one to use is our code. We'll take a look at that. We will be focused around this one right here called Scratch Game Creation, and there's the code. I'll show you how it works, but all you're going to have to do is you're going to put this code in to your Scratch site. We'll go through how you set that up. You're going to tweak it. You're going to change some of the pieces in here to make it your own code. In other words, make it your own game. The Scratch is extremely simple to use. We will use Scratch at MIT because it's a great help. It's a very simple interface. There are people who download and put the Scratch app on. I don't like the Scratch app. I like the online one, because you basically are in a community of developers, and kids can understand what that means. And again, here we go again. So here's your code. Again, and I even give it to you in a tutorial as well as a handout. So this isn't hard to do. It's just flat out fun, frankly, is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to knock out the second half of 5, and then we'll go ahead and do 6, and that will take us then to the final. The final, as I've told you already, is very straightforward. There's no hidden tricks, there's nothing magical here, there's nothing that it's a gotcha, just straight up asking you to do a little bit of thinking. I do not want the great American novel. A couple of paragraphs will get it done. And I will also make sure that we go over the live text, because I think people get a little worried about live text because live text is essentially stupid. And if you'll notice down here, you'll see that a lot of this talks about putting links in, so on and so on. Don't worry about the fact that when you put a link into live text, it isn't live. I find that extremely ironic. It's going to work because what I do is I come in, I see that you have the link there, I highlight it, I right click, open in, and it comes right up. So there's no big deal. So there we are. So this Thursday, April the 4th, will be our last physical class meeting. But as always, if you have concerns, if you're worried about something, if you want me to look at something before we go into serious grading time, just drop me a text at 502-457-2937. And, you know, those of you who have done it have gotten answers right away. And as always, I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. I wish we had more time together, but unfortunately, the schedule gets a little booked up here toward the end of the semester. Don't worry. Just because the 4th is our last day, you have all the way until April 25th to get everything done. So you've got plenty of time. You have plenty of time. You should not be in any kind of freak out mode. And if you are, you know what to do. 502-457-2937. I will see you on Thursday.